Hey everybody, Rick here. Thanks for joining me on this fine Saturday afternoon. I'm going to get right to the point. This message I want to send to everybody that'll listen, and I ask you to spread it around as well. I'm going to talk about Lahaina for the duration of this video, and talk about the despicable atrocity perpetrated upon these people. What I'm getting at, I'm going to talk about 20 anomalies that prove use of a directed energy weapon, more likely a satellite of some sort, that ignited this fire, or ignited the several points where the fire had started. There's more evidence to support this theory, and I hate calling it a theory because it is what it is. There's more evidence to support it than there is evidence supporting the official narrative. Now, I want to say this is not my opinion, it's not conjecture, it's not a conspiracy theory, it's evidence-based facts. If you don't want to take my word for it, I suggest you do your own research, and you'll conclude the same ending that I have. So here are 20 anomalies, and please remember, there's no such thing as a coincidence. Anything that you would normally deem a coincidence is actually an anomaly, a puzzle piece that fits somewhere in the big puzzle, and it all happens for a reason. Number one, the emergency siren or disaster siren was not activated. The excuse given was that they would normally only use it for tsunami warnings, and they didn't want to sound it for the fire because they were afraid it would drive people to higher ground and deeper into the fire, which is odd considering what number 3 turns out to be. Number 2, the water supply to the hydrant system was turned off, which is something that can't accidentally happen. Somebody has to actually open a panel and turn a valve. Number 3, main roads that led out of Lahaina to safety were blocked by police. Those trying to evacuate were rerouted deeper into the inferno. Remember, they didn't want to drive people into the fire. That's why they didn't sound the siren. So the blocked roads did just that. They drove people to their deaths, really. Those trying to evacuate were rerouted deeper to the inferno. Countless people abandoned their vehicles on the roadway and ran into the ocean to escape the flames. Many others weren't as lucky, as they couldn't abandon their vehicle in time and burn to death in their vehicles. Number 4, homes and other structures were turned to ash, yet trees and other vegetation were not touched. Number 5, big blue plastic trash and recycle bins didn't melt, nor did about 30 blue umbrellas that were in the path of the fire. Number 6, all abandoned motor vehicles looked as though they had been incinerated. Number 7, the engine blocks of every vehicle photographed or videoed had been turned to ash. Number 8, every pane of glass wasn't shattered. Instead, the glass melted. And to achieve that, you need temperatures of up to 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 9, all 4 aluminum wheels melted off the vehicles, leaving petrified streams of melted aluminum that ran from under the vehicle like a small stream. This would need a temperature of at least 1,250 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 10, all 4 tires were vaporized, leaving behind the limp strands of steel belting. I tried to find the temperature that it would take to vaporize a tire. I came up with 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit, but it just doesn't seem high enough, so anybody out there want to correct me on that, I'd appreciate it. Maybe I'm right, but it just doesn't seem high enough. Number 11, many vehicles were parked in gravel lots that were nowhere near fire or fire fuel, yet they were incinerated. Vehicles that were parked on blacktop, nowhere near fire or fire fuel, were incinerated. Now, since we've determined the melting point of aluminum is 1,250 degrees and 2,500 degrees for glass, the melting point for blacktop is 343 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet these vehicles that were incinerated while sitting on the pavement saw no damage to the blacktop. Number 12, any object blue in color was spared. Trash bins, umbrellas, structures, and motor vehicles. For instance, you see 10 cars that look like they had just came from Baghdad, completely incinerated. Yet smack dab in the middle of these 10 cars is a blue one that looks like it just came from the dealership. Number 13, media was not allowed on the island. The local mayor instituted an emergency proclamation which included a media blackout. How stripping of the First Amendment of them. Citizens were not allowed to take pictures or video of the destruction. Number 14, out of nowhere, these special police surfaced, just appeared, driving unmarked Nissan SUVs, and they were hiding literally around every corner. If you stopped to take pictures of a burned out car or destruction on the land, they were there within seconds, trying to run you off and threatening you with arrest if you did not stop photographing or videoing and move along. Mind you, your First Amendment of the Constitution guarantees your right to free press and free speech. Standing in a public place taking video or pictures is protected with that First Amendment, and these people are threatened with arrest. I've seen videos of encounters with these special police that lead me to believe that they're not fully certified law enforcement officers. No fully sworn, fully certified police officer would act in the manner that I've seen some of these act. Nasty and dangerous. I couldn't imagine giving somebody like that a gun or police powers. So it makes me question, are they hired security guards running around with special police powers, or are they real police? But where did they come from? Because they certainly aren't Maui police. Tells me that they were on hand and ready to go to enforce these unconstitutional laws that they've made up. This boils my fucking blood. So they stripped citizens. They first of all, they banned any media from coming onto the island. And then they stripped citizens of their constitutional right to free press and free speech, threatening them with arrest. And by the way, an emergency proclamation or a law, a rule that a city makes up, it's not law. It doesn't trump the Constitution. It doesn't trump your constitutional rights. Within 6 days, the powers that be secured $3 million tax dollars to erect a 6-foot-high fence on the perimeter that runs the perimeter of the burn zone. Days later, 3 miles of fencing would be up, and they took it a step further by adding black sheeting along the fence. So when you're driving or walking the main thoroughfare through Lahaina, you can't see into the burn zone because of that 6-foot-high fencing with black sheeting on it. What are they trying to hide? That they don't want people seeing into the burn zone. Also, they banned drones from flying over the burn zone and taking video. There's several very suspicious characters here involved with this mass casualty event, this false flag event. One of them being Maui Police Chief John Pelletier, who used to work for Las Vegas Metropolitan Police as a commander. He happened to be scene commander at the mass casualty false flag event, mass shooting at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas during a Jason Aldean concert in 2017. Somehow he finds himself 4,000 miles away in the position of chief, and he's also in the role of coroner for Lahaina, for Maui. Not only that, but the man that was his deputy chief or some sort of high-ranking official with Las Vegas Police joined him at Maui Police and is now enjoying the role of deputy chief under this Pelletier character. Pelletier is the first non-native in the history of Maui to hold that position. If you think it's a coincidence, which there is no such thing as a coincidence, this man and his henchmen are CIA plants. They're put there in a timely fashion to be able to handle this mass casualty events and enforce the unconstitutional rules and laws that they're going to make up, and to keep that official narrative alive. Pelletier ordered his officers to block the exit routes. FEMA, another group of untrustworthy, useless snakes. They've rejected hundreds of cases of donated bottled water. They rejected tons of food donations, clothing, hygiene products, and all that. Rejected it all. Makes you wonder why. They also, when they had rejected the water, they wanted to provide their own water to the people, which they did, and many who drank it immediately got sick. Now there's a huge surprise. Well, the locals have struggled for the past 6 weeks, going without basic necessities. Mind you, FEMA is there to provide these basic necessities in a timely manner and with the utmost care and concern, but they're the complete opposite of what they're supposed to be. There's no surprise there. So all these people struggle and deal with losing their homes, everything they own, being hungry, being sick. They're given a one-time payment of $700 by the Biden administration. Yet FEMA representatives are living it up like they're on a tropical vacation. They're staying in 5-star hotels that cost anywhere from $500 to $4,500 per night. I can't even tell you what that does to me inside. I want to throw up. And our fucking tax dollars are paying for it. Why can't they stay at the Days Inn for $200 a night? It's only going to get worse from here, folks. It's a land grab, and they're going to keep going until everybody is out of the way, until they have all the land that they want to start their smart city. This is fact. It's not something I've made up. It's not conspiracy theory. It's not my opinion. If you sit by and do nothing, well then you have no right to complain in the future when we get flushed down the toilet like a big turd. This country has become an embarrassment around the world. The Biden administration is a joke. He paid visit to Maui and fell asleep during a press conference. I know he's 82 years old, but hello, you came to a disaster zone. And anybody that goes around thinking this was accidental, sparked by a down power line, is delusional. There's plenty of evidence to support the directed energy theory. All you have to do is look at the vehicles. The vehicles tell you all you need to know. You could not obtain temperatures of 3,000 degrees, which is about what it would take to turn an engine block of a motor vehicle into ash. You cannot obtain those temperatures through a accidental wildfire. There's not enough naturally occurring fuel to feed the fire to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. There's man-made intervention in the form of a directed energy weapon, most likely a satellite, that emits lasers that deflect off anything blue. I can't remember the name of the satellite, but the one that exists that emits blue lasers was over Maui, over Hawaii, the night of the fire. What do they have planned next, and where's it going to happen, folks? There's no telling. It could happen here in Bangor, Maine. It could happen anywhere. Are we prepared? Nope. You know why? Because half the population doesn't believe what I'm telling you is real. Doesn't believe that it was nefarious. They believe it was an accident, an accidental fire ignited by a down power line. And people that believe it are delusional. They either suffer from cognitive dissonance or they're a paid government shill or troll, and there are plenty of those out there. Anyway, hope it got through to somebody. Pass this message along. It's detrimental to your well-being. Take care.